Welcome to our Greek lesson 1.2. In this lesson, Machen looks at how to write the letters, or gives a little note on how to write the letters or how to learn to write the letters. He says that the student is advised to learn the small letters thoroughly in connection with the first lesson, leaving the capital letters to be picked up later as they occur. He's saying here, pay attention to the lowercase letters, what are called the minuscule letters, more so than the majuscule, the uppercase letters, because that's what occurs most. He says it should be observed that sentences are begun with small letters, not with capitals in the Greek, and so you'll want to note that. And then he says before the formation of letters is practiced, guidance should be obtained from the teacher, since it is impracticable to copy exactly the printed form of the letters, and since bad habits of penmanship ought by all means to be avoided. For example, the beta and the rho should be formed without the lifting of the pen and by beginning at the bottom. In these matters, the help of a teacher is indispensable, he says. And so what we're going to do now is learn how to write these letters together, and I'm going to repeat the alphabet as we go through so that you will learn these letters and how they sound and begin to memorize the alphabet yourself. So first of all, we have the letter alpha. Alpha can be written like so. Then we have the letter beta, beta. Then gamma. Then delta. So alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Then we have epsilon. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon. Zeta. Zeta. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta. Then we have the eta. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta. Then we have the theta. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa. Kappa. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa. Lambda. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda. Then we have the mu. Mu. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu. Then we have the letter nu. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu. Nu. Then we have the xi. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi. And we have the omicron. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi, omicron. Then the letter P. P. If you notice what I did there, I started to write the English letter P, which is actually our letter rho in Greek, which is pronounced with an R sound. So don't do that. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi, omicron, P. Now we have the rho. Rho. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi, omicron, P, rho, sigma. Remember, sigma has two different writings. So that's sigma. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nuc, c, omicron, p, rho, sigma, tau. Tau. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nuc, c, omicron, p, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon. You can either write it with a letter just like our letter U, or put a little curly thing on the end, or a little cursive thing on the end there. That's the upsilon. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, eta, or alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nuc, c, omicron, p, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon. Then we have the letter phi. It's written like this. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nuc, c, omicron, p, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi. Then we have the key. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nuc, c, omicron, p, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, key, psi. It's written like this. And then finally, omega. All right, so let's read these over one more time. And you want to be able to read them out as quick as that and memorize it as quick as I am here. So alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nuc, c, omicron, p, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, key, psi, omega. All right, that's lesson 1.2. We'll see you in our next lesson.